So I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to our session today and talking about the ProFM Credential Program and preparing for a strong 2022. My name is Randy Olson, and I'm the VP of Global Business Development for the ProFM Credential Program. I will introduce our guest here in a moment, but I would like to let everybody know that this will be a very interactive session today. So Michael Thomas and I will have a good discussion regarding the benefits of the ProFM, topics within the ProFM. We'll talk about what you'll learn within the program, the impact that the ProFM can make on you and your organization, and talk about how to earn the ProFM Credential Program. But I'd like to encourage you to put in questions along the way using the Q&A panel at the bottom of your screen. We'll be monitoring those and answering those along the way if we can. If we don't get to all of them kind of as we're moving through the program, we'd love to, at the end, use the rest of our time and answer the rest of those questions. So really excited to talk to Michael today and get insights on the program. So let's go ahead and move forward with introductions. So again, my name is Randy Olson. I'm the VP of Global Business Development for the Professional Facility Management Institute. I have overall responsibility for the design, development, and distribution of the ProFM Credential Program. I'd like to also introduce Michael Thomas with JLL. And Mike, I'm going to have you talk about your career path leading up to where you're at now, kind of how you got into facility management, and, just share your background with us.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Well, I started off in the casino industry, and of course, that's a 24-hour business. So as I moved on to my career, I wanted to get out of the casino industry. And I took my first job as a facility coordinator, not having any experience as a facility coordinator. And I worked my way from that job working for Fujitsu America to working for a local privately owned distribution center here in South Haven, Mississippi. And I took that position as a maintenance manager and grew that position into a facility and maintenance manager position by obtaining my facility management professional credential at that time in 2017. After leaving that for growth to manage a larger book of business, I took on the role as facility manager for Fred's Dollar Store, managing between 450 to 500 retail properties in the Southeast. Of course, that business closed. I took another job as a facility manager for Williams-Sonoma, and which is another 24-hour business job for support for FM services, and reached out to JLL and was hired there as the facility manager for West Tennessee, and I've been there now for 2 years.
All right, very good. And we'll revisit kind of your path into ProFM and what you've done in the past and your passion for lifelong learning. I think will come through very clearly today as we go through the presentation. So thanks, Mike. We'll get back to you in just a moment. So let's talk about what you'll learn within the ProFM. Annually, we do a training outlook survey here that we sponsor in partnership with our friends at NFMT and Trade Press Media Group. And in 2021, we asked a number of questions around training, skills, knowledge, abilities, things of that nature. And overwhelmingly, 91% of employers came back and said there's a gap between the skills their team needs and what they have today. That incidentally, that was up from the previous survey that we had done from 79%. So there was an increase in employers saying there's a tremendous gap between the skills they need. Incidentally, we'll be doing this survey again in 2022, so we can track kind of the changes related to similar questions again. So please keep your eyes on your inbox for being able to respond to that survey. So with that, what I'd like to do is dig into the ProFM body of knowledge. So the body of knowledge with ProFM is a result of a global survey done in 2017 and then revalidated this past summer of 2021 that defines the knowledge, skills, abilities, and behaviors needed for facility managers today and into the future. The body of knowledge is structured such that it has 4 functional FM knowledge areas of asset management, risk management, business management, and operations and maintenance. And within those functional FM knowledge areas, there's four to six topics within those knowledge areas. So think of those really as the technical skills that a facility manager needs today and into the future. Then there's 5 cross-functional competencies that thread across those functional FM knowledge areas of communication, sustainability, quality, innovation, and collaboration. So those are the soft skills, if you will, that need to come into play each time that you're looking at a technical solution to a problem. Note within business management, there's important topics around leadership and human capital, financial management. Mike's going to talk to here in a minute some of those areas that were most impactful to him as he went through the program, and then also kind of how he uses that kind of going forward. So the body of knowledge was structured such that it's integrated together, delivered as a holistic, all-in-one program that everything is integrated together. And it was important as we built the body of knowledge with feedback from the industry that it's not only what you know, but how you apply that knowledge across all 24 of these things. So with that, what I'd like to do is open it up to Michael and talk about what really inspired you to seek ProFM training. So let's start there, and then I'll have a follow-on question to that.
All right, thank you, Randy. So what inspired me to seek ProFM training is, as facility managers, we have an environment that's constant, that's forever changing. In order to keep up with that environment and provide value to what we do for the client or for our employer, I say, hey, I wanted to increase my knowledge level for his facility management was concerned, and just so I can provide that value and have that skill set to perform well in my current role.
Okay, and then Mike, as you kind of went through the training, what modules and topics were most impactful to you?
So for me, the first thing that comes out to me is asset management. As a facility manager who worked in a distribution center, for the most part, our asset management was forklifts, equipment in the building. We did manage the building, but from the ProFM module for asset management, it gave me a holistic view of how to fully manage the built environment. And that's from electrical, that's from when you go to purchase a new building, lease a new building, what I should be looking for as an FM to mitigate any risk, for older buildings, and just make sure that we have that checklist to provide the client or the employer with to say what we see, to be the eyes on the ground, so to speak, for his asset management. The second part would be business management. I am an avid supporter of finance for FMs. I think that what we do affects the clients or employers' bottom line, and we have to be good stewards of the money that we spend, but we also have to be strategic in what we do in regards to managing that built environment to make sure that what we do is impactful, that soft services are on point to help the employees work and have them in a comfortable environment, and also make sure that hard services are being taken care of to make sure that the building can continue to function. So I think those are the two most important things that stood out to me for the ProFM credential.
Great. So Michael, I know there was kind of a path here for you as you entered the ProFM. So as you introduced yourself, you talked about earning the FMP in 2017. So maybe you could just talk a little bit about the differences between the FMP and the ProFM.
Okay, so the FMP was my first introduction to facility management as a whole. They had strategic business, they had operation and maintenance, they had business and finance, and they also had, I think it was strategy. I can't remember the fourth one right off the top, but to compare the two, in my opinion, the ProFM went further into details, what FMs need to know. It spoke from a 50,000-foot view as far as how we speak to the C-suite, the stakeholders, puts us in a frame of mind where we can say, hey, these are the things that we're saying, because most FMs are not in those conversations with the stakeholders. I know for a good part of my career, I wasn't. And I just needed to gain that knowledge to where I can have those conversations and provide insight to the stakeholders. And I think ProFM has made me a better FM in my career after achieving the ProFM credential.
Oh, great. Thanks, Michael. And then as you evaluated getting into the program, I believe you used our free tool called Map Your Gap. So that assessment, am I correct in that?
Yeah, yes, sir. That was one of the first things I did before I purchased the program. Map my gap to see where I stood. I mean, most times we are in a fishbowl, or what I call an ecosystem here, and we think we have all the knowledge and tools that we have. And I was shocked to see the knowledge gap that I had. And like I said, that really made me want to get involved with the ProFM credential.
Yeah, and we are getting a couple of questions related to the difference between FMP and ProFM, and I'll talk to that a little bit, and then Mike, if you've got anything to add to that. But FMP is very narrow in nature, so it covers kind of four of the topic areas, and really they're delivered as really standalone courses, as opposed to the ProFM, which is delivered as an all-in-one program and covers everything needed within that single program. The program is also the ProFM program, as I've talked about already today, is that it's tightly integrated together, delivered as a holistic program. Because as you folks, as facility managers, you know that any problem that you have to address, it's never a standalone problem. It's typically never just one thing. There's many things to consider as you work through that problem. So much more comprehensive in nature, much more broad, a lot more detailed, delivered as an all-in-one program, integrated together to provide those critical thinking skills to deliver great solutions. So Michael, do you have anything to add to that, or does that kind of sum it up pretty well?
That kind of sums it up. Like I said, give you that critical thinking, because once you start reading the material, there are scenarios that you get a chance to read about, and examples inside the materials that just get you to thinking, okay, this is what I need to be thinking about. So it's very helpful to unlocking those skills that you need to perform well.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to move forward here and move on to our next topic. So let's talk a little bit about impact and the benefits of FM training. So back to our survey, we asked the question, as you kind of roll out training, what are those key benefits? And these are consistent with what we hear from folks that go through the program, from individuals that go through a program, but also from organizations that sponsor their people to go through the program. Incidentally, overwhelmingly, we're hearing from the industry now, there's never a better time to invest in your people. So these benefits can be realized if you invest. As folks look for additional opportunities, as folks look to resign from their careers. So it's very important to hone in on these benefits and provide this opportunity to your employers or to your employees. So for managers, the top three benefits were better job performance, increased employee confidence, and really addresses those knowledge and skill gaps needed to deliver great solutions. And then for employees, for individuals, preparation for career advancement, credibility within the organization, and better job performance. So we consistently hear from organizations and individuals that go through our program that it's about credibility and it's about confidence and being able to deliver those great solutions. So I'm going to take it back to Michael here. And so if you think about your current job and you think about your path forward, so how has ProFM changed the way you approach your job? And then maybe what's ahead for you in your career?
Okay, so after getting the ProFM credential, one of the biggest things that I approach my job is my team, getting them ready for the next level. If you're a chief engineer on my team, getting you ready FM down the road. If you're a building engineer, getting ready to be assistant chief, getting ready to be a chief engineer. And I take what I learned and what direction we need to go and what things that we need to be talking about as far as getting ahead. I believe in being proactive in my approach, not being behind. Case in point, we're in the pandemic, I'm hoping on the back end of this COVID-19 pandemic. And one thing that it helps me do is think about where we need to be. How do we need to stage things? So if another pandemic comes, where can we be? That risk of being ready. And, one of the things we say, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that's one of the things that the ProFM has brought to my mind. What's ahead for me? Well, Randy, starting in this summer, I will be working as a qualified instructor for the ProFM. I'm looking forward to that. I do have peers reaching out to me for resume help, books that I've read, just reaching out to me, just asking questions. And I enjoy that part because, helping people, paying it forward to improve their skill sets and their knowledge in the FM field is a pleasure that I enjoy.
Yeah, very good, Michael. Thank you. And I do have a couple of questions. So as you went through the program, Michael, this one's for you. So how long did it take you to earn the ProFM?
It took me, I was hoping it would have took 6 months, but it took me the entire 12 months. And I say that because in my current role, we never stopped working. And I had to do it a little bit at a time. If I'd have had the option, the time to dedicate more time to it, I think I could have finished in 6 months. But I really wanted to go through the material and make sure that I was learning. I need to learn and prepare myself for the test that came forward at the end of the program. So it took me 12 months to get it done. That's due to me just putting in the time and, just reading the material thoroughly.
Right. Yeah. So systematically going through, budgeting some time every day to get through the program and do the learning, and then apply that learning. Right.
Yes.
So I've got a question that I'll address. So now that I'm a ProFM credential owner, and you touched on this a little bit, Michael, excuse me, how can I maintain my learning over the years, and how do I become an instructor? So I'll talk to those couple of points, and I'll also remind everybody that you're going to be doing a coached upcoming coach session for us. So in terms of maintenance, there's several ways that you can maintain and keep current and renew the term of validity, which is a 3-year period of time. So you can attend conferences like NFMT, you can teach, you can write, you can speak, working in the career, running an FM project. So there's several ways for you to stay current and keep your ProFM current. And then in terms of being instructor, the first step, if you have the ProFM, that's the first step in that. We do have some small instructor training available that will help you become a ProFM qualified instructor. And we certainly need more. There's demand for additional instructors out there. And as I mentioned, Michael's going to do that for us here, I believe this summer or fall, right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move ahead and talk about how to earn the ProFM credential. So we have multiple learning options that really are designed to match your style. What you should understand within the program, that no matter how you choose to move forward and get it, the tools are always the same. Just the methodology might be slightly different. And the first option is through self-study. So you get the reading materials, you get the online study tools, and you get access to the ProFM final assessment. And you, in your way, in your self-paced way, take yourself through the program. So that's one option to go through. And Michael, I believe that's how you went through the program, right? With self-study?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So then adding to that, you take that self-study option and you add coaching. So it's the self-study materials and tools plus 7 online instructor Q&A sessions. Our next session begins on March 30th, incidentally. So we run at least one of those every quarter, but the opportunity exists to get involved at the end of March in that next coach self-study option. And then last, there's an instructor-led option. So through our partners, through education partners, through colleges, universities, there's the opportunity to go through this in a classroom setting. Now, over the past couple of years, those have been done virtual. Hopefully we'll move back to some in-person delivery of that. But regardless, there's a consistent way of going through that. So through a ProFM qualified instructor, they lead that class. You get the self-study materials, plus a live or online course. And there's a lot of benefits to going through an instructor-led course. You have the networking with the instructor and access to that expert instructor, but then also being able to network and have peer discussion with everybody else that's taken the class. And there's typically many, many, many years of experience involved in those instructor-led courses. So if you have a group that would like to go through this, there's team training available, and there's discounting starting at just 2 or more. So if you have 2 folks, you can come together and get a discounted price and move forward. So that's the options for earning the program. And I've got a couple of questions. So Michael, these are for you. Has having your ProFM changed how you do your job?
Yes, it has. It has definitely had a significant impact on how I do my job.
And second question for you, out of other credentials available, and understanding that you've got the FMP, why did you choose ProFM?
Like I said, I chose the ProFM after taking the knowledge gap assessment and saw where I had those gaps, and in doing that, I wanted to close those knowledge gaps that I had. So that's why I selected the ProFM. I know that we do have other credentials out there like the Certified Facility Manager, and that's probably will be on my list later in 2022. But for right now, the ProFM credential helped close those knowledge gaps for me and has given me a better perspective on my job as an FM professional.
All right, very good. And there's one for me that I'm going to address. So is this credential renewed through NFMT, or can it be through IFMA as well? So any industry conference that you go to, whether that be through NFMT, through IFMA, other built environment type conferences or courses, those would apply to the renewal credits for the ProFM. And another question. So with self-study, does the reading material include the entire body of knowledge? Yes, it does. So we should talk a little bit to how the program is delivered. So it's delivered as an all-in-one single program with everything you need to accomplish the ProFM. So there's reading materials. So there's over 1,000 pages of content. There's a module for each one of those functional areas, and then a module for those cross-functional competencies. So that's the first component of the system. The second component is that rides on top of a learning management and content management system that's intelligent in nature. So there's an interactive in nature. So there's interactive tools that help guide you through the program and help you systematically get through the program, like Michael's talked about. And then third, those final assessments, or the final assessment, is delivered in that platform as well. So everything you need is there. The final assessment includes knowledge, pure knowledge recall, along with situational judgment or application type questions. So how do I take this knowledge and apply it to a real world scenario? So that's all delivered as an all-in-one program. So all of those 24 things are delivered, and you're trained on all that in a nice, holistic, integrated fashion. Next question, is there any timeline, or is this entirely up to your own pace? So when you get access to the program, you have access to that for 12 months. So that typically gives most of our folks more than enough time to systematically get through that program. So you have a 12-month period of time, but that is done at your own pace. So, you can structure that. There's a nice tool called the Smart Study Plan that helps you create a study plan with a self-assessment of how you line up with the 24 things. You also take a pre-test that helps you understand the areas that you need to focus on. So it is very logical and can be designed to be taken in little bite-sized chunks and move along the way, but it's all delivered as an all-in-one program. With that, we'll move forward and talk about a discount available for attending this event today. So first, let's talk about pricing. So I've talked about everything that's included. It's those reading materials, the interactive online study tools, and the final assessment. So it's all delivered at one cost. So our pricing is for self-study, it's $16.95. For coached, we just added an additional $100 to that. So it's $17.95. The webinar price until February 18th for attending today will be $13.95 or $14.95. If you'd like printed materials, you can add those for just an additional $50 plus shipping and tax. You can order online at profmi.org. You're going to use the code WEB122 to get that discount. So with that, a couple of free resources. Michael talked a little bit ago about the Map Your Gap self-assessment. I encourage everybody as a next step to go do that Map Your Gap. And it compares your current knowledge and skills to the ProFM body of knowledge. So it compares you to those 24 things. That 2021 FM Training Outlook Survey, the full report of that is available on tips and tools at profmi.org. And then if you want to try some of the questions, there's 10 free ProFM practice questions available out there on profmi.org. In addition to that, there's videos of our team talking to various components of the body of knowledge and various components of the training. So get yourself out to profmi.org, navigate around. There's a lot of good information out there, and some free tools available to you. So with that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for joining us today. Just as an FYI, if we didn't get to your questions, we've got a couple minutes left that we'll try to answer a couple more questions if you have them. But if we didn't get to those, we're going to email directly to you links with the recording and the slides within the next couple of days, and we'll also address any questions that we didn't get to. So let's just have a look at. So Michael, I have another question for you that's come in. So as you look to achieve this, the ProFM, was your management team on board with you earning this?
Well, I won't say they wasn't on board. I didn't consult with them. It was just something that I wanted to do personally for myself. As you know, I did meet you guys down there in Orlando, something I took paid time off. When it comes to increasing my knowledge or getting credentials, that to me, I think that's something that I do for myself because I love to learn, and I have this just ungodly motivations just to know what I need to know what I need to know, and then try to determine what I don't know. So I didn't seek anything from them in regards to that. It's just something that I want to do personally.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. But I do believe as organizationally, this is a great time to invest in your people in 2022. It's a great time. Increase their credibility, increase their confidence in delivering solutions. So, Michael, one last question for you. So, looking back, was this worth the time and money?
Absolutely. From all the, I would say from all the made, I did my ProFM credential, people, like I said, people reaching out to me. I've had quite a few recruiters reach out to me, but at this time, I'm just going to stay the course. And who knows what comes down the road in 2023. Absolutely worth it. I think that it was the best decision I made in 2020.
And I am going to address one more question, and we're right up at the half hour. So if I want to take the ProFM, how does that build on the next step of getting FMP or CFM? So Michael talked to building on the FMP. So FMP is narrow in nature, it covers 4 topics. ProFM opens that up. We do hear from a lot of folks, and Michael did also talk about the potential of pursuing the CFM. We do have a lot of folks that prepare for the CFM using the ProFM. So that knowledge gain with the ProFM gets you ready to sit for the CFM exam. So also, the way we do the assessment and the way we assess people within the ProFM also gets you in that critical thinking mode as you prepare to sit for a high stakes certification exam like CFM. So I talked earlier about assessments. There's a pure knowledge recall. Then there's also situational judgment, that are application of that knowledge into certain situations. So that helps you with those critical thinking skills to be able to analyze questions as it relates to CFM or some other certification that you may pursue. And with that, we are right at just over 1 minute. Again, I want to thank you for joining our session today. Hopefully this was beneficial to you. Michael, thank you so much. It's great to have you as a guest and a passionate learner. Great to hear your story. So if you have questions for us, there's an email address for you to reach out. There's a phone number. And again, I encourage you to visit profmi.org and get additional information about us. So with that, I'll wish you a very happy Thursday, and we look forward to talking to you down the road. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.